Hello, my name is Hackett-Bauer and I am presenting over Leading with a Moral Compass. So here is my table of contents. I have my my resource summary, moral compass, references, and then my addendum. So I saw this really neat picture online and I just really resonated with me. So never jeopardize your moral compass. So here is the summary. My first article was over Moral Compass by Chi Do Lee. So basically the big takeaway from his was moral compass, right or wrong, the divide, assuming in integrity reflection. So the words above, the author talks about them a ton throughout the video, and he explains, what each one of them are about and how/when we use our moral compass. The biggest takeaway is when we know when the line has been crossed, and if we know then or others, as a future administrator, we no longer have a private life in the community. We live, teach, work in one area. Once we step into that professional line of work, our faults are exploited, and for the other world to know we no longer are entitled to a private life. So that really resonated with me. The second category was called moral emotions. And this was by McCombs School of Business. So they talked about two things at the beginning: moral judgment, which is our emotions, and it's when our brain is reasoning why we're doing something. The example they used is a guy was cheating, and he kept giving reasons to why it was okay. And then, the moral action is why do we do that? What are our actions that follow forward? They also said that someone with a high guilt typically has high morals and is a good citizen, and someone with a low guilt has low morals and typically not as good of a citizen. Empathy is considered to be one of the biggest and most important emotions to take away. There was this thing called moral dumbfounding, which I had never heard of. It's when we make a moral judgment emotionally. So I guess I had heard of it, but I hadn't heard of that definition. Emotional reactions beat out logic reactions most of the time. And with thoughtful, cognitive, and calculated practice, we can train ourselves to make better decisions not based on emotions. So the Moral Compass by Brian Orks. This article begins talking about society today, and we think of a north versus south. The north is the good and the south is the bad. There's no proof that there is a drastic change in our moral compass. The difference is that we now have an easier and quick access to social media. And, the idea was that our world is getting worse, our world is getting bad, and because of society, it's making it worse. The other big important topic was, do we need to follow religion? The issue they pointed out with religion is, while yes, it might have religious context in it, it is human-led. So therefore, there is going to be potentially human error and human judgment. So in conclusion, until there is no authority in charge of making those moral right or wrongs, there's no simple and clear solution. So the next one, our moral compass. Moral compass, they described as a soul pocket. This is a personal belief that guides our decision making. This resides within our heart and is formed over a lifetime. They considered core values to be integrity, family, fairness, personal responsibility, and kindness. A reason a leader might feel their moral compass is being challenged is, the ethical choice might have a short-term side effect. The ethical choice conflicts with what the organization or the supervisor wants. And then, they have to choose if they're choosing to violate their values to benefit, the decision. So how do we help our moral compass in decision? We need to start by analyzing the consequences and the side effects of the decision, analyze the action of what's going on, and then ultimately make a decision that is morally right. So the next one is, what is a moral compass? A moral compass helps to provide a standard to help each other use and define and address our ethics and moral weakness. This contributes to how we see right or wrong. So basically, what is good versus bad? A moral compass forms over time by a person, by personal or religious or societal or experiment forces. why we need a moral compass. There was 5 important factors to why a moral compass is important. It grounds us and gives us our identity. It protects the greater good, so everyone involved. It increases self-confidence, so who we are as a person. Helps to be a good role model. And then lastly, foster healthy relationships. If you don't have a good moral compass about what is right or wrong, you're not going to have healthy, good relationships. And so set your moral compass true north. And remember, we talked about north was considered to be good and south was to be considered bad. So when setting your moral compass, remember the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. We seek to find people who are typically empathetic to be our friends. We want people who understand what we're going through or will understand what we go through. Our actions define our characteristics and who we are. So, are we honest? Are we empathetic? Are we respectful? Do we have integrity? Are we reasonable? And a lot of times as people get older, they really look for kindness. And a nice diagram they had was kindness equals tolerance, tolerance equals respect, and respect equals doing the right thing. So the next part is my moral compass. I found this super neat program where I was able to punch in all sorts of words or characteristics that I felt described who I was as a person. And then I was able to pick like all sorts of colors and shapes. And so I have so many words in here. I think I found about like 30 words I thought that really described myself. So, but my moral compass, and so I described what that was, the program, but I believe the words I entered into the program best present who I am as a person. I try to live by these words and their meanings in my daily life and to take into consideration the impact I have on others. So my references, I used 6 of the sources. And then let's talk about the addendum, the standards. So the standards we had here were 2.1a and 2.3a. So this assignment demonstrated the understanding of what a moral compass is and how to use it. This assignment educated me on how we look for someone who has a high moral compass versus a lower moral compass, knowing the signs of using your moral compass ethically and the characteristics of it. As a building administrator, you will be tasked with communicating effectively, cultivating collaboration and culture, and being able to ethically demonstrate and model ethical behavior. My relevancy statement. So this assignment has taught me how to better understand my personal moral compass and what I believe are important factors to have in a good leader and good person. As a leader, you learn that everything you do will be on the air for others to see at all times. Your faults become more elevated and others tend to judge you even more. The important factor to take into consideration is that you need to work to form a good conscience. And my personal reflection. As a future building school leader, I will use my moral compass that I have formed over the years to make a sound and well decision that is best for my students and staff. As a future building leader, I realize that everything that I do is on display and what we do in the community is going to be seen and heard by everyone. My decisions that are constructive and emotionally based are making decisions that are constructive and not emotionally based is imperative for a calm school culture. In the future, when I'm needing to reflect on maybe my moral compass and ethical decisions, I can look back at this presentation or my references. So, my resources. So, thank you so much.